During All-Star Weekend, Caitlin Clark joins Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe for a live episode of A Touch More. And let's just say that Caitlin Clark does not hold back on dishing.
Caitlin Clark just got brutally trolled by sports legends Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe, and her reaction revealed a side of her nobody has ever seen. In a rare, unfiltered interview, the secret of what Taylor Swift actually whispered to her was finally exposed, and Clark came face to face with that now legendary goofy meme that broke the internet. This wasn't a typical media appearance. It was an uncensored look behind the curtain, and the stories that came out were pure gold, exposing the bizarre reality of her life and the immense pressures hiding just beneath the surface.
From just a few states over, she loves a good Cheez-It and will wash it down with some swig. She loves Scrabble, outdoor concerts at the Ruoff, and golfing at Crooked Stick. She's every ref's favorite. And she dresses like a CEO because she's a boss. Please welcome to the show, Caitlin Clark.
The stage was set during All-Star Weekend on a live podcast, and right from the jump, they threw Clark directly into the fire. Instead of a normal, polite introduction, they hit her with the iconic, dramatic intro music of the 90s Chicago Bulls, a soundtrack reserved for sports royalty. Then, with a sly grin, they sarcastically announced her as every ref's favorite. The crowd erupted. It was a direct and hilarious shot at the nonstop narrative that has followed Clark all season. Her technical fouls, her passionate arguments, and the media frenzy over her relationship with officials. It was a troll of the highest order, but Clark didn't flinch. She laughed it off, and in that moment, the tone was set for the entire interview. This wasn't going to be a guarded, media-trained session filled with cliches. This was going to be real, raw, and completely unfiltered. For the next hour, these three roasted each other mercilessly, and the stories that came out were unforgettable.
Taylor Swift is whispering something into Caitlin's ear, and they have like a dialogue back and forth. Plenty of people were wondering what was actually said, what could be said between these two giant stars. And Megan Rapinoe just bluntly, flat out asks her, and she says, "Don't lie."
First, they tackled the mystery that drove the internet completely wild. You remember the moment. Caitlin Clark at a Chiefs game, sitting next to Taylor Swift. The cameras zoomed in as Swift leaned over and whispered something in her ear, sparking a dialogue between the two. In an instant, the clip went viral. Lip readers went into overdrive, with theories exploding across social media. Was Swift offering career advice? Were they discussing a secret sponsorship deal? Maybe a collaboration was in the works? The speculation was insane. Megan Rapinoe, never one to beat around the bush, cut straight through the noise and bluntly asked her, "Don't lie, what were you actually saying?" The truth was so hilariously normal, it was almost unbelievable. Clark admitted she was basically acting as Taylor Swift's personal football commentator for the night. She was breaking down plays, explaining why a flag was thrown, and nerding out over the game. The biggest pop star on the planet, who is famously dating one of the NFL's top players, apparently still needed a play-by-play. And Clark, a massive Chiefs fan, was more than happy to oblige. It's a surreal peek into the strange new world she occupies, where casually explaining the rules of football to a global icon is just another Tuesday.
High school, they made you take like a 15-minute timeout if you got a yellow card.
That's
They're
ridiculous.
like, yeah, go to the bench for 15 minutes. I'm like, it's like a timeout, like you're 10. Like,
Was there
No.
orange slices there?
No, there's not. That sucks.
Yeah, 15-minute
Yeah, I
timeout.
had an innumerable amount of yellow cards. Only 2 red cards, both from a mouth.
I didn't get any red, but I got a lot of yellows. It was always my goal, but
Honestly, you two might be our best ever never played for the national team players. We could have used you guys.
But the surprises didn't stop there. The hosts then decided to confront Clark with one of her most legendary viral moments. They pulled up the infamous screenshot from her scuffle with Atlanta Dream's Ryan Howard. You know the one, where Clark looks completely unhinged, her hair a mess, making a contorted, goofy face that instantly became an iconic meme. The timing of the freeze frame was so perfect, it looked less like a tough athlete ready to fight, and more like someone having a full-blown existential crisis on national television. Clark's reaction was priceless. She threw her head back and absolutely roasted herself. looking at the picture and crying with laughter. "This is what I looked like? I thought I was being tough," she exclaimed. She admitted that in her head she was thinking, "I'm not scared of you." But the photo told a very, very different story. It was a moment of pure, unadulterated self-awareness, showing she can laugh at the ridiculous image the media sometimes paints of her. For someone living under a microscope 24/7, that ability isn't just a personality trait, it's an essential survival mechanism.
Yeah.
Center mid.
Yeah.
You guys did fine with that.
Center,
Just
forward. Forward.
Center
Yeah.
forward. Center forward.
Not
center mid.
defense.
Yeah. All three of us, to be honest. We'll be up top.
No, I know. Whenever they introduce me sometimes, or they introduce somebody else, and it's like all defense, all that. I'm like, that'll never. That was never me. That'll never be part of the resume. None
Smart.
of us.
But not all defense.
Yeah. No. Okay. I don't know if you watch Saved by the Bell.
So good.
This is might be
This
my
is Goofy
favorite
that you're
one.
talking about. This is Goofy that you're talking about. Goofy Caitlin.
I feel like every game there's always like a new meme of me doing something.
The stories just kept getting better, painting a vivid picture of the strange new reality her superstardom has created. Clark recounted a time during her rookie year when she got fouled hard on a shot and ended up sprawled on the court, landing directly at the feet of a courtside sitting Sue Bird. Bird immediately jumped in to tell her side of the story, admitting she completely and utterly froze. Her internal monologue, she explained, was pure panic. What do I do? Should I help her up? If I help her, people will say I'm biased and showing favoritism. If I don't help her, they'll say I'm cold and a hater. She was completely paralyzed by the social dilemma, stuck in a bizarre standoff created entirely by Clark's celebrity. Meanwhile, Clark was just lying on the floor, looking up and wondering if a single person in the sold-out arena was going to offer a hand. The moment perfectly captures the strange ripple effect of her fame. Her presence is so powerful that it warps the normal rules of conduct, leaving even a seasoned legend like Sue Bird unsure of how to act.
This one is
Yeah.
top notch. I don't even know what happened.
I mean,
I
either.
do.
What game is this?
I have no idea.
Atlanta. Ryan Howard was trying to rough you up.
Oh, is that? I was
this?
like, I don't care. I
Yeah.
don't care.
You're like, I'm not scared of you.
Oh yeah, that's what I said.
I'm not scared of you.
Who are you?
Yeah,
I did say that.
Oh, it was so good. I remember I was watching this game
tough.
live.
I thought I was tough, and then this is what I look like.
This interview was a breath of fresh air, a reminder of the funny, down-to-earth person at the center of this massive media storm. But while she was laughing about her own memes and awkward encounters, a much more serious story was developing behind the scenes. The lightheartedness of the podcast stands in stark contrast to the brutal reality of what the Caitlin Clark effect is doing to her body. News has been quietly surfacing about a nagging injury, a persistent case of plantar fasciitis that is reportedly far more serious than the team has let on. This isn't just a minor tweak or a sprain. Plantar fasciitis is a debilitating overuse injury, a painful inflammation of the tissue connecting the heel to the toes. For a basketball player who relies on explosive cuts, jumping, and pushing off, it can be a career-altering issue. This injury is the physical manifestation of the insane, non-stop grind she has endured for over a year. Think about it. She went from the intense pressure cooker of the NCAA tournament and March Madness hysteria straight into the WNBA draft, and was then thrown immediately into her rookie season without a moment to breathe, let alone recover. This injury isn't an accident. It's a direct consequence of that pressure, the first major crack appearing in the armor of a player who has been asked to do the impossible. And while the Indiana Fever faces a potential crisis with its superstar sidelined and her future uncertain, the rest of the league isn't waiting around. In a move that sent shockwaves through the WNBA, the New York Liberty, already a powerhouse, just signed Belgian superstar Emma Meesman. This wasn't just a good signing. It was a checkmate move that signals a terrifying power shift. Meesman is one of the most decorated and dominant players in international basketball. She's a former WNBA Finals MVP, a Eurobasket champion, and a rare talent who combines elite three-point shooting with legitimate size and fearsome defensive prowess. The Liberty were already stacked to the ceiling with talent like Sabrina Ionescu, Brianna Stewart, and Jonquil Jones. Their bench players could start for most other teams in the league. Adding a weapon like Meesman to that roster is just unfair. It's like they're playing a video game with the salary cap turned off, assembling a modern-day dynasty before our very eyes. This creates a chilling and powerful contrast. On one hand, you have the league's chosen savior, Caitlin Clark, physically breaking down under the immense weight of expectations. On the other, you have a super team in New York building an unstoppable juggernaut that looks poised to dominate for years.
Honestly, the freeze frame doesn't do you justice.
Like, that's not fair. I didn't actually look like that, right?
No, you were not that goofy in real time. This is so good. In real time, you were like, let's fucking go. Like, I'm right here. My whole face is right here. Freeze frame, you're like, my whole face is right here. Tough.
My hair's all messed up. I just got hit.
Yeah, you hadn't fixed the pony yet.
No, I hadn't.
It all circles back to the two conflicting realities of Caitlin Clark. The podcast exposed the authentic, funny, and deeply relatable person that millions of fans have fallen in love with. We saw the woman who can laugh at herself, geek out about football with Taylor Swift, and navigate awkward moments with other sports legends with humor and grace. That personality is the powerful engine driving her incredible fame and the Caitlin Clark effect. But that same fame has created a relentless machine of pressure, expectations, and crushing physical demands that is now threatening to shatter her career before it truly takes off. It's the ultimate double-edged sword. Her very humanity is what makes her a global phenomenon. But the phenomenon she created is now testing the absolute limits of her human body. The machine, composed of media, sponsors, the league itself, and the fans, built her up into an icon. Now that same machine is demanding a price, and it's being paid by her own physical well-being. Nowhere is the risk of the Caitlin Clark effect clearer than in the very structure of her team compared to the monster being built in New York. The Indiana Fever has gone all in on the transcendent star model. Their entire strategy, identity, and financial success revolves around one person. When Clark is healthy and playing at an MVP level, it's thrilling. But when she's injured, the entire foundation crumbles. The team's vulnerability is terrifying. In contrast, the New York Liberty have embraced the super team philosophy. Their model is built on overwhelming collective power. Even when their star center Jonquel Jones missed time, they had MVP caliber players like Breanna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu to carry the load. They are deep, versatile, and insulated from the catastrophic risk of a single injury. This isn't just about one season. It's a philosophical war for the future of the WNBA. Can a single transcendent star who brings in unprecedented revenue and viewership truly compete with a perfectly constructed machine built for the sole purpose of winning championships? The Liberty's dominance poses a chilling question. Is the Caitlin Clark model of building a team ultimately a beautiful but doomed strategy?
Rim looks big. But yeah, I like that moment I had with Stewie when I made that one over her. Like, I don't know how I made that shot. Like, I barely got it over her fingertips. Like, Stewie's one of the longest players in the league.
Like 8 feet with her arms. Yeah.
And I just started laughing, and then Stewie was laughing because we were both like, "Wait, what? How'd that go in?" And then
she's
Sandy's
like, "What the
laughing.
fuck?" You're like,
Sandy's
"What the fuck?"
laughing behind me. It was
But the pressure isn't just coming from the on-court strategy. It's magnified 1,000 times over by a relentless media machine that demands to be fed every single day. The reason the podcast with Bird and Rapinoe felt so refreshing is because it was a rare escape from Clark's daily reality. Normally, she is a character in a 24/7 sports soap opera. Every play she makes, every facial expression, every post-game comment is dissected, debated, and turned into a hot take. Think of the weeks-long national obsession over the Kennedy-Carter hip check, or the endless analysis of her supposed rivalry with Angel Reese. She isn't just playing basketball. She is constantly performing for an insatiable media apparatus that profits from conflict and controversy. This creates a level of mental and emotional fatigue that is just as taxing as the physical grind of the season. It's a key part of the overuse that led to her injury. The job isn't just playing 40 minutes a night. It's the nonstop 24/7 burden of being Caitlin Clark, a product to be consumed by the masses. Faced with this immense physical and mental onslaught, the question is no longer if she'll break down, but how she can possibly survive in the long run. Her current path is completely unsustainable. A smart recovery isn't just about healing her foot. It's about changing the entire ecosystem around her. It means the Indiana Fever must stop relying on her to be a miracle worker. and invest in a stronger, more capable supporting cast. It means the coaching staff has to be disciplined about managing her minutes and her media obligations, protecting her from the burnout that seems inevitable. And most importantly, it means Clark herself will have to learn the difficult art of saying no. She must set boundaries to preserve her own health, even if it disappoints fans or sponsors. The league itself is at a crossroads. It's riding the Clark bump to new heights of popularity and profit. But what's their plan B? The fragility of this boom is now on full display. This forces a difficult conversation. Is the league willing to sacrifice its short-term gold rush to ensure the long-term health of the generational talent who made it all possible?
I was like, what do I do? So I didn't know what to do. I was like, should I help her?
me
People are
up.
gonna, if I help her, people are gonna be like, why didn't you help her? If I don't help her, they'll be like, how come you didn't help her?
I was like,
and I'm frozen in time.
I remember what happened. This was my rookie year. Jordan Horston fouled me.
fouled you.
And they didn't call a landing space foul per usual. They never do. They just called a normal common foul.
Burn.
But yeah, I was like, I thought one of the Seattle fans would help me. Maybe even you, but
I know I'm not. I vividly remember I froze.
I even have green shoes on and no one still helped me.
I was like, oh my god.
I was like, I don't even see you down there. Tommy, though, again,
with
very
another Letterman.
yeah, is very concerned.
As we see these rare glimpses of the real Caitlin Clark, we're left with a thought-provoking and slightly terrifying question. We saw the person behind the legend, but what is the true cost of being the savior of a league? She brought unprecedented attention, revenue, and energy to the sport, completely revolutionizing women's basketball in a matter of months. But the blinding spotlight she created might be the very thing that burns her out. The biggest question in sports right now isn't if she can win a championship, but if she can survive the revolution she started without sacrificing herself in the process. Can she maintain that authentic spirit while navigating the brutal reality of being the league's biggest star? Or will the machine she powers end up consuming her first?